Hey you guys, I have a very important dream I want to share with you all that I had today, and I literally was pulled out of this vision dream at 3 o'clock. The dream started out where I was over a coworker's house, and we were talking about the blood moon, and I was making reference to how I wasn't able to see the blood moon. And I remember walking outside, and it was nighttime, and as I was walking, I remember looking up in the sky and I saw the blood moon. I'm looking at this blood moon and I can see white light or stars constantly circling around this blood moon. All of a sudden, as I'm still looking up at the sky, the moon started shaking violently, almost like somebody grabbed hold of the moon and just started shaking it back and forth. And the moon at this point was a white moon, and it was just flip-flopping and being distorted, and it was a very weird sight, but I could not take my eyes off of it. I'm looking at it, and as I'm looking at this moon, it's coming closer to me, almost at right face to face, and it's getting closer to me. As I'm still looking at this moon being shaken violently, as it got closer to me, it had a face, like there was a face on the moon, and it had a sad face, almost like somebody had drew a face with a frown, but it had a sad face on the moon. And I remember as it was going by me, I heard the moon say, it said, the capital of America is coming to an end. That's what I remember. It came across me, like it went by me, and it said the capital of America is coming to an end. And when it said that, the moon started turning a blood red color again, and it went back up towards the sky. I kept looking, and I saw this huge aircraft that flew above me, like it was massive, almost huge to the point where it took up the sky, but it was over me, like it was almost hovering over me. That's how close it was. And this, you guys, this dream was so vivid. I mean, the colors, every precise thing that it was so vivid. And as I was looking at this aircraft, the wings of the aircraft was red, and it looked like the wings of a giant bird, and the tip of the airplane looked like the face of a bird. And I'm not really good with birds, but for some reason when I woke up and I was, processing what I just saw, and I'm writing it down, the first thing that popped in my head was a falcon. The face of the bird looked like a falcon, and there was a very small plane underneath this huge plane, and it kept going in the sky. And I saw these red tiny lights that were forming an arch from a distance. It's like my eyes was catching every precise detail in this dream. But I saw these red tiny lights, and it looked like it was an archway. or an arch. The lights broke up in the sky and started dispersing throughout the sky. At some point, a car or a truck had went by, and in the wind, as the truck went by, I heard a voice in the wind. It didn't come from the car because the car had already drove by. But in the wind, I heard a voice that said, checks canceled. Checks canceled. Or canceled checks. It was something like that, but I know it was something that I heard it say checks canceled or canceled checks. I then saw this huge spacecraft come down from the sky. And when it touched down, the ground shook. I mean, this was a massive aircraft that just came out of the sky, and the colors were so, like I said, everything was so vivid. Everything had colors and details, and it was a very interesting dream. As I'm looking at this huge spaceship, the face of this craft had a face of a dog. I know this sounds strange. This black man came out of the ship and he walked towards me. And by this time, I was sitting outside with my two sons. And he told me they had to conduct something and for me to stay where I was. And I can remember feeling like I was literally trembling because I'm literally seeing these things take place right before my eyes, and I'm literally like, you know, I can't believe this is happening right now. This man, when he walked back from saying that to me, he walked back over to the aircraft and he said he was talking to somebody. And I remember he said something about Obama being a dog. I can't remember the rest. I can't remember what else. I know I was hearing things and I was trying my hardest to catch every single word that was being spoken. And even in this dream, my son was next to me and I kept trying to get him to write down every word. And I was getting upset at him because he wasn't recording what I wanted him to record, because I was conscious enough to know I have to make sure I jot all of this down. But for whatever reason, when I woke up, I was only able to remember what I'm telling you. So I remember him saying something about Obama being a dog. And remember, this huge spacecraft or aircraft, whatever you want to call it, when it came out of the sky and it landed on the ground, it shook the ground, and the image that was on this particular aircraft was a picture of a dog. Okay. The aircraft then took off and I saw another kind of spaceship coming out of the sky. And when I looked at the sky, the whole sky was like a blood red color. And the pattern looked like fire. And that's what I remember of this dream. And you guys, when I tell you, it was so real, but at the same time, I could not take my eyes off of what I was seeing because it was so, I mean, just everything was massive and vivid and so detailed, and I was like amazed by the stuff that I was seeing. There was so much activity going on in the sky that you would not believe what my eyes was capturing. I wish I could capture everything and really just relay it to you so you can truly feel what I'm saying. But another thing I want to add, this coworker who house I was over before I started seeing all these phenomenal sights in the sky, when we was having this conversation about the blood moon, what was so interesting to me, and it literally just registered when I woke up and I'm meditating on this dream, it dawned on me that this particular person's house that I was over, his last name is McBride. Bride. That jumped out at me like, whoa. So when I began to really look at this whole dream, like I said, we're talking about blood moons. I'm talking to a guy about blood moons whose last name is McBride. And bride jumped out at me. I go outside and I see a blood moon. And the moon begins to shake violently across the sky. It's being distorted, it's being stretched, it's going back and forth. Like this moon was flip-flopping all over the sky. It was a very crazy sight to see. And then all of a sudden, this moon is getting closer to me, and it has a sad face on the moon. The moon itself has a facial expression of being sad. And as it goes across me, right in front of me, it says, the capital of America is coming to an end. And when it says that and it goes back up into the sky, it's turning at this point blood red again. And then I'm seeing these massive, huge aircrafts that are shaped as a falcon, shaped as a dog. And there was a third one, and I honestly can't remember, but it was a very massive aircraft. I dreamt of 3 massive aircrafts that were all shaped with the face of an animal or some type of creature. But the third one, I don't remember what it was shaped like. I just remember at this point, this is when I was starting to be pulled out of the dream, because I couldn't remember what the third one looked like. But I remember seeing it come out of the sky. And then here it is, I hear in the wind, canceled checks or checks canceled. When I was meditating on that, the first thing that popped up in my spirit was something having to do with the money, the economy being canceled, it is coming to an end. So this is a very serious dream, you guys. I don't understand everything as a whole, but I know this is a very prophetic dream. When I looked up dog means a wicked person. A wicked person. So it's interesting to me that this guy who came out of this spaceship that was resembling a dog, or had a picture of a dog, or it was like the structure, the way this aircraft was built, had the structure of a dog shape on it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying to explain it the best way I know how. But for this person to come out of this particular aircraft and make mention about Obama being a dog, I found was very interesting. And like I said, dog means or represents a wicked person. And when I was looking at the sky being almost like a blood red color, I found this scripture that jumped out at me. And it's found in Psalms chapter 75, verse 8, and it says, "For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup with foaming wine, well mixed, and he pours out from it, and all the wicked of the earth shall drain it down to the dregs." I don't know why that jumped out at me, but it did. And that's found in Psalms chapter 75, verse 8. You guys, I feel very, very strongly about this dream. And before I go there, the person house, this co-worker who I said last name is McBride, but Bride jumped out at me. His first name means God of wine. God of wine. That's why that verse jumped out at me, because his first name means God of wine. And then I found that scripture, Psalm 75, 8, where it talks about how, you know, the hand of the Lord, in the hand of the Lord, there's a cup with foaming wine. So I believe there is something major brewing in the spirit. Something major is about to take place. Here it is. I have this dream 2 days after the first blood moon. I wasn't able to see it. I was looking for it where I live at, but I wasn't able to see it. I know a few of you guys were able to, but I really wanted to see it, but I wasn't able to see it from where I live. But here it is, 2 days after this first blood moon, I have this dream. And it's something very significant about the capital, because if you go back into my channel, there was a dream that I shared with you all about me seeing a picture of the Capitol in the sky. I didn't understand why God showed me the Capitol, but I was shown the Capitol of the United States in the sky. And here it is, after I see this moon being shaken violently, it comes to me, right up close to me, with a sad face, and it says, "The capital of America is coming to an end." I take that very serious, you guys, because the capital is the very foundation of our country, of our nation. And America is falling. America is falling. Our nation is falling. And I don't know what else to say, but for you all to just pray. Because when I say everything that I was being shown in this dream, this vision, it was so detailed. It was so vivid. And a lot of this stuff that I described to you, that I saw, I don't fully understand what it was. But what I can say, something is about to happen. I'm not trying to throw out fear, but this was a very urgent dream, you guys. And we need to take heed of the times that we're living in. Things are literally brewing in the spirit. And God is getting our attention. He's warning us. He's trying to prepare us. So if you guys have any feedback on some of the things that I share with you all, you know, please leave a comment. I thank you all to all my new subscribers. God bless you all. God gets all the glory for everything that this channel represents. You know, it was him who put this in my heart to do, to start this channel and to share the dreams and visions that he's been giving me. So I appreciate all of you who are joining, you know, Kingdom Living family. You know, I welcome you all with open arms. I love you all. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all of your comments. Please know, even though I may not respond to every last comment, I read every last one of your comments. So please know I do hear everything you're saying. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you so much for the prayers and for the love. But you guys, please take this dream to heart. Really pray about it. I just, something definitely is taking place in the spirit. And God is truly wanting to get our attention. He is truly speaking to the bride of Christ. He is speaking to his children, and he's wanting our hearts to be prepared for what is about to come. I love you all. God bless you all. And I will be back with another video as God leads.